energetically let somebody go, it completely changes the energy.
Having a hard time letting an ex-lover go, go run and listen to that video right now. But I'm going to tell you my experience, what I've learned this year, 2023, the year of completion, because those numbers add up to number 7. So this is year 7. So I'm sure all year you've been having romantic relationships or even friendships ending. I've had a friendship or romantic relationship end every single month this year, and we're only in September. So I expect more people to be cleaned up. Usually I don't talk about my love life because I'm very private, being a Scorpio moon. But I will say this. This year, these are the 2 lessons that I've learned from the 2 individuals that I dealt with this year. One lover I've known for 16 years. And 10 of those 16 years, we kept going back and forth. He would go to an ex, break up with them, run back to me, play in my face. I would go to an ex or meet somebody, date them, then run back to him and play in his face. And we kept doing this for the past 10 years, going back and forth with each other. And we had been very good friends for a few years before anything turned romantic. But the truth is, this man never liked me. He never liked me. And it doesn't take much for a man to sleep with you, even if he doesn't like you or have feelings for you. But I kept letting him play in my face. We kept going back and forth. And I'm going to tell you this. I feel if you keep allowing people to run in and out of your life, they don't like you, they don't love you, they don't respect you. And even with me, the same. I don't think I respected him. I did love him. I did care for him. But I don't think I respected him. And that's the reason why I kept going back and forth with him for the past 10 years on and off. What I learned from that situation, I'm glad we finally closed out the 16 years. And it was known, don't ever try to come back. And I will never try to return to you ever again in life. I learned that you can be attracted to someone. The sex can be amazing. The conversation could be great. You can even feel you have a spiritual connection with somebody, but it doesn't mean that you two are meant to be together forever. Does not even mean that you're supposed to be romantically involved with each other. And that's something a lot of us have to admit to each other. It wasn't hard for me to get over him. I cried it out, and maybe it took me 5 days to be back to normal. And that's only because I am fully in love with myself. And that's why I think a lot of people cannot move on from exes, because they lost themselves in the relationship and they can't picture their lives without those individuals. But you have to love yourself more than you love anybody else. And I'm so thankful. I think that situationship taught me how much I love myself now, because I'm finally done. Lover number 2, I met him 5 or 6 years ago at his job. I frequent his job. We always flirted, and once lover number 1 and I were over, immediately lover number 2 fell into place. It was time for us to get over our karmic cycle. And what I noticed about lover number 2, he was my type and I was his type, meaning physically. But we're not each other's type spiritually, because I'm not willing to feed his inner child and he's not willing to feed my inner child. And I noticed that's why we were attracted to each other, because there was something about me that he needed, that he didn't receive from his mother. And he reminded me of the dynamic between my father and I that I had when I was a child. But this time around, I was disgusted by the behavior. Where before, when I would meet a man who would repel me, I would push even harder and love even harder and give even more because I wanted that validation. But this time, it enraged me. So he saw a side of me that scared him. He said I scared him. And I'm glad I did scare him. He was this child that wanted validation. He always was looking for compliments from me. Very good looking brother, but just thought he was ugly and he's so fine. That's what's really interesting. Never got told he was good looking as a child. Never got told he was intelligent. So it was constant need of validation and compliments from him. And he was raised by his mother, and I assume he didn't get that type of love, attention, or validation from her. And I was not willing to do that. He has to heal his inner child to be a better person, a better man. And he had a player mentality where he would seek validation through women. So he became angry with me and made me an enemy because I would not basically coddle the little boy inside him, knowing I do have that nurturing and that loving energy that he needed. He found it in me. And even though we're each other's types and we're very physically attracted to each other, my inner child is more like a teenager. And his is more like maybe an 8-year-old. So he has a lot more healing work to do. And I think he's not angry with me anymore, but we will never be able to connect with each other due to him not being healed in those areas. But I am thankful that we connected because it also gave me a chance to see how far I've come along. That now when I meet a man that reminds me of the relationship I had with my father, it literally pisses me off. It makes me want to vomit. So even though I was physically attracted to him and we got along in certain areas, I had to let him go. So that's what I learned from the two lovers that I encountered and had to close out the cycles in 2023. Self-love is the most powerful love. That's what's going to save you every time. That's the reason why you can't let go, because you love those individuals more than you love yourself. And as the man said in the video, the more energy you're projecting onto those individuals who don't want you, the more they're going to step back, release, let them go. And if it's meant to close out the cycle, close it out so that pure love can come in. And if it's meant for you and that individual to link back up together, you will. Don't force anything. You'll never have to force true love.